Is WWE 2K25 Bloodline Edition worth your money? You're about to find out.
Finn's at risk now, at risk of losing here. Grabbed up and driven down. Boogie bomb!
What's up, everybody? This is Fred Richani of TSC Gaming. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm here to give our thoughts on WWE 2K25 Bloodline Edition on the Xbox Series X, also available on the PC, also available on PS5. This review copy is courtesy of 2K. WWE 2K25 looks a little different from WWE 2K24, although it doesn't deviate from the successful formula of great match presentation, pretty fun gameplay, a number of accessibility and difficulty levels you could choose from to play the game your way. But it does have some welcome additions and some that, well, let's keep it real, no one asked for. Let's dive in. First things first, for new match types, we have intergender matches. That's right, the long-awaited return of intergender matches is here. You cannot play them in MyGM or in MyFaction. But look, if you want to have Rhea Ripley take on Dude Love or your created character take on Dakota Kai, you can do that with intergender matches. You have Bloodline rules matches where, whether you're the Bloodline or just John Cena taking on Uncle Howdy, you and your stable can interfere in the match. If you're facing a quote-unquote bad guy, they'll have somebody run in. If you're a good guy, your friends will run in. And it pretty much mimics what happened at WrestleMania 40 in that main event with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. And it's freaking chaotic. It's crazy. It is awesome. Definitely a fun, not by the numbers, no DQ type of match. You still have to finish the match inside the ring.
Here is your winner and the new head of the table, the team of John Cena, LA Knights, Brutus Creed, and Julius Creed.
And he's our new champion. What a win.
A great blend of tenacity and physical skill brings home the gold.
Winning a championship in WWE is no small feat. Take a look at the new champion.
Speaking of inside the ring, we now have underground matches. Who knew that wacky idea from Shane McMahon back in the day with Raw Underground would later spill over to NXT and now into WWE 2K25. It's a unique match with no ropes, and you can only win via submission or knockout. Wrestlers surrounding, but it's mainly just mano a mano. The other thing I like about the game that's been added is some graphical improvements. You see a little more visual damage and sweat effects. I feel like things are a little more intense. The last few years have been really good as far as monitoring the stamina and the damage of the wrestlers, and I feel like it's only gotten better. And I think the commentary definitely adds, especially in showcase mode.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
Steele had better keep an eye on Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler.
Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Speaking of showcase mode, 2K Showcase is showcasing the Bloodline Dynasty, which of course features the legendary Anoa'i family featuring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Roman Reigns, the Usos, Yokozuna, High Chief Peter Maivia. This is hosted by the wise man Paul Heyman, and you essentially play through the rich history of the Anoa'i family and the Bloodline. This includes not only matches that actually happen, such as Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna, but this also includes matches where you can rewrite history yourself. George the Animal Steele versus High Chief Peter Maivia in a steel cage match randomly on Raw, which is pretty cool. And the nice thing is this, while there are challenges and are objectives that can be a little annoying to say the least, I love the fact that they're actually in-game cutscenes with commentary. None of this cutting to real-life footage. I'm not saying it's not cool to use archival footage, but when you're playing a game, you don't want to go right into a cutscene. And on top of that, just from a creator perspective, this makes things a lot easier if you are a streamer, a broadcaster, whatever the case.
Hunter whipped into the corner, nobody home. Rocky hit hard. And now Hunter looks to take over this match.
MyRise is back. That's essentially the My Career mode of WWE 2K25. And I love it this year because historically, while it has been fun here and there, there's also been a lot of cringe elements, a lot of cringe dialogue. And I'm not saying that some of the dialogue isn't wooden in MyRise.
Because I just saw you talking to a WWE producer. But if you don't want to say, I respect that.
but MyRise Mutiny, this year's MyRise game, is freaking awesome because this essentially mimics the old school Nexus NXT takeover from back in the day, only this time it's led by NXT alumni, and we're not just talking about Wade Barrett here. Really good stuff. You could play, of course, either as a male superstar or female superstar, and you guys not only move up in the ranks, but you have to take down the evil group known as NXT Mutiny, aka Nexus 2025. And yeah, I really enjoyed the voice acting here. I like the mystery, the whodunit aspect, the twists and turns, and this definitely seemed a lot more fun and streamlined than last year's and the previous years. Not that they aren't fun, not that they don't kill some time and give you some enjoyment and some replay value, but I just felt like this was more of a realistic storyline and that your character wasn't a complete dork. The character can still be a complete dork at times, but nowhere near years past. So shout out to WWE2K for that. That being said, if there is one criticism I can make, it's that the characters that are not typical WWE superstars still look and act a little funky. That's something I'd like to see improved upon, but overall, massive thumbs up for MyRise Mutiny.
Going on tonight with the draft, but I wanted to sneak in a couple interview questions. Is that okay?
Nope.
For anyone who hasn't been paying attention the past couple of years, how would you define your personality?
I'll go with what I use on my dating app. I don't like to take things too seriously. I like a good reality TV show, scrolling endlessly through silly pet videos on my phone, and when I'm not busy with that, I enjoy bashing people's heads in. So I guess you could say I'm a bit more comedic and fun.
Ah yes, the resident WWE class clown.
So you got the bad guy, huh?
Looks like it.
I know Triple H and everyone is telling you this is over now, but I still think there's more to come.
We have MyFaction, which includes a few DLC packs. If you did buy the Bloodline Edition, which includes Wyatt 6, Undertaker, the Bloodline, Nation of Domination, a Faction Wars ticket, but it's not my favorite mode. If you don't know what it is, if you played other sports games before, it's essentially 2K's version of Ultimate Team, or the version of NBA 2K My Team, where you get challenges, you complete those challenges, you get more card packs, and it encourages you to spend real life money, aka everybody's favorite, microtransactions. Now look, you can have fun with this mode without spending money. With that being said, there's a lot of aspects of this mode that encourage you, well, to spend money. It's not my personal favorite. It doesn't bog down 2K for me, but I do wish the effort that was put into MyFaction was put into Universe mode, because Universe mode is old reliable. It does include now the return of promos and of course intergender action, which is great. It is fully customizable, but man, I do feel like if they put the resources for these microtransaction modes to Universe mode, to MyRise, to even 2K Showcase, it'd be even better.
Lift off!
Io Sky with an overlap moonsault. Io might have put an end to this.
2 count. What a win!
Here is your winner, Io Sky.
A shocking loss for Rhea Ripley.
You have to hand it to Io. She is second to none, and she just proved it again.
Speaking of microtransactions, you have The Island. The Island is kind of like the neighborhood in NBA 2K. On the surface, if you haven't played NBA 2K, this looks like a pro wrestling version of an open world game. Hey, maybe even a tamer GTA. And there's a lot of cool looking buildings. You have the different statues, iconography of WWE superstars, of course, like Roman Reigns, who runs the island, along with Rey Mysterio, Cody Rhodes, and all that jazz. But similar to NBA 2K, when you're actually walking around or trying to run around, if it's not laggy, it's lifeless. It's quiet. And then when you go to the different stores to buy quote unquote drip, you notice that you're really going to have to grind in order to customize your character, especially if you didn't buy the Bloodline Edition and you just bought the regular standard WWE 2K25. On top of that, the challenges are kind of grindy. The different levels aren't exactly inspiring, and this gives me major WWE 2K20 vibes when it comes to engaging in dialogue with the different characters. And no, that is not a compliment. You have a lack of animations. You just have like an image of R-Truth or Johnny Gargano or Dakota Kai or Xavier Woods or whomever you interact with, and just a dialogue box, and it just feels very WWE 2K20. If anybody played the DLC for WWE 2K20, it kind of was like that. That doesn't bring back good memories because WWE 2K20 was by far the worst WWE 2K in history. And yeah, this gave me major vibes there. Not good. Not good. I'm not saying you can't have fun here, but you have to grind a lot. It's kind of lifeless, and it completely lacks the charm of the updated showcase and MyRise. So play it at your own risk.
Gotta find a way out of this dire spot. Oh, looks like we're gonna see it for sliced bread. Can that finish? Woods!
2 count.
As far as other features in the gameplay is still pretty smooth. I do enjoy it quite a bit. I do love the fact that when you enter the ring now, you do have the option of having a cool third-person camera.
This guy may launch his opponent tonight.
If you ask me, he needs to be more focused than that. He needs to use his power to keep his opponent underneath at all times.
Now, you actually have a point, Saxton. Maybe he'll save the human shot put for after.
The other thing I didn't really like, and this is something that's been going on in recent WWE 2K games, is that if you buy the highest tier edition, so in this case it's the Bloodline Edition, last year was 40 Years of WrestleMania Edition, it is absolutely preposterous that you still have to play multiple game modes just to unlock content. To me, that is inexcusable. As somebody that's been reviewing WWE games since WWE 13 back in the day, I remember they had a little thing called the Accelerator. And what the Accelerator did was when you bought it either separately or with the highest edition of whatever WWE 2K game, it allowed you to unlock everything. And to this day, you cannot unlock everything unless you play the different modes. And I'm not saying you shouldn't explore all of WWE 2K, but it is unacceptable that in the year 2025 and beyond, that WWE 2K gamers can't just play the game they want to play how they want to play it. I really hope they fix this down the road because, come on, man. All that being said, one of my favorite modes, MyGM, which allows you to be a general manager. Now, the difference between this year's and last year's is not only do you have more options at GM, but you could also play as NXT Mutiny as featured in MyRise, and you could also play online with friends, which is pretty freaking cool. However, and this is a minor nitpick to some, you're limited with match types, no intergender, no war games, nothing like that, with a lot of multiple person matches. And on top of that, for whatever strange reason, you can't create a women's champion for ECW. Why do I have to go through the entire WWE draft only to find out at the end that I can't assign a women's champion in ECW? WCW didn't have a women's champion towards the end. Yeah, they did it in the early days, but not towards the end. I could assign a women's champion there, but I can't assign a women's champion for ECW. I feel like it's just such a minor thing that they could fix. Just patch it up. That makes no sense. I do still feel like MyGM, while it is really in-depth as far as managing the rosters, setting free agents, putting together the shows, slowly but surely leveling up your production, I still feel like it's a little limited, and I really would like them down the road to just remove the handcuffs. Allow it to be as customizable as Universe Mode and then some. So what's the verdict?
Get some help out here.
Overall, TSC Gaming gives WWE 2K25 The Bloodline Edition on Xbox Series X an 8 out of 10. Old but reliable gameplay that doesn't deviate from last year all that much. Some welcome additions, especially on the match type side with Bloodline rules, intergender, underground matches, and even being able to brawl in the ultra dangerous, the always scary NXT Parking Lot. Plus all that other content, you get a gigantic roster, tons of match types, a robust creation suite, and a MyRise mode and 2K Showcase mode, all kinds of twists and turns. I think you'll definitely be sinking a lot of hours into this, whether you're a wrestling fan or somebody who just wants to try a really good fighting and wrestling game and haven't picked one up in a while. I would definitely recommend this. If you'd like to pick up WWE 2K25, you can click the link in the description. Full disclosure, we do get a small cut from your purchase. If you enjoyed this review, like, share, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more reviews like this. And until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the games.
New champ, a new era begins.
Here is your winner and the new WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton.
There she is, our new champion.